Okay, so right now we are going to make a low poly mesh. You see I've set our resolution to a little bit lower level. We don't need a million polygons model into Topogan. Right now I'm switching to the Topogan and I'm loading a reference model, which is something around 160,000 triangles. And one important thing in Topogan, you can see I'm going to preference and you see that anti-aliasing option is off, so it will help you if you have low quality, low power graphics card. When you have lots of polygons on your model and having anti-aliasing on, it might be very laggy, so this is very good idea to turn the aliasing off. So I'm starting from the nose, and I usually start from the nose or the eye or the lips, and then I'm continuing to close these areas between them. So the process of making low poly mesh is rather quick comparing to the making high poly. Making this low poly mesh will take us something around 15 minutes. So it's pretty quick. And this is a next gen character, so we can spend some polygons on these features like nose, lips and eyes, and we can save some polygons on areas like cheek or the top of the head. So most of this work I will do in Topogan, but we will be finishing this model into Maya because it's just easier to fix some parts of the model around the lips and around the eyes and around the nose. It's easier to do this in Maya, so if you are not experienced that much, you should check some models from the internet and see what is the correct polygon topology for the head, because you should know this before you start putting all the polygons on the place. And right now we are working on the eye. So like I said before, I'm trying to make one part of the model, like for example eye, and then I'm trying to connect it with the rest of the model. So I'm starting right now working on the eye, on the ear. So we will do this part, and the rest of the head is just very simple. But the ear is a little bit more complicated, and we will have to spend more polygons for the ear. It's really important to it's really important part to be really round, because it's next generation. So I think it should look a little bit more high poly. Yeah, so the ear is pretty much done. Only the back part is left. So on the rest of the head we can save some polygons, so wireframe can be a little bit lighter. And you can see we are doing only a half of the head. we can turn on symmetry in topogram, but I'm not using this. I prefer just to do a half of the head and then check everything in Maya, and then in Maya mirror this geometry. Okay, so now you see I skip a little bit. We have our head completed. This is only a half of the head, and we have still holes around the eyes, nose and mouth. So I'm going to switch to Maya. Of course, I'm going to save this model as obj. And now we are in Maya. I'm going to import also our reference model. So I've put our reference model on the separate layer, and now we have to work a little bit on this head. And you see we have really bad shadows around the ear, so we have to support this geometry a little bit more. We will add there a little bit more cuts, so we just have to split this geometry a little bit more around the ear to avoid these weird shadows. And of course we have to close these holes. So I'm using right now append tool. I have most of my tools on the shelf, so I'm not using these top menus. And we have also some weird shadows around this nose hole, so I've made there a hard edge to avoid this problem. It will help a little bit. So right now I'm extruding these edges and scaling them and trying to match the eyelids shape. Okay, so our eye is almost done. And before I move forward, I'm just trying to line up these points because I would like to make a second half of the head, and I'm using a shortcut icon on the shelf, and this is just an instance, so I'm going to show you right now. Duplicate special options, instance, one copy and -1, and that's it. This is the same effect. So I've made the second half of the head, but I've decided to hide this part for a moment because it will allow me to have better access to this lips part, and we have to also fix it. I'm extruding these edges a little bit to the inside. And right now we have to fix this ear area. I'm going to split this with polygonal split tool to avoid these weird shadows. And you see that most of these shadows are gone right now. We still have a little bit of shadows below the ear. But this should help a little. Okay, so right now we just have to merge these halves together and make one mesh. And of course I just have to redo this hard edge around the nose. And now we are going to merge together and also we have to smooth this middle edge a little bit. So that's it, this is our head, our low poly mesh, it's completed. In next part we are going to make UVs for this head. So that's it.